Hi there, Phoenix. Um, this is Monday. I believe we're on day 5 of our journey. I'm on my lunch break at my 9 to 5, the hotel, and just had a beautiful morning, had a wonderful 24 hours, and then today, though, is a tough day. Got a lot of transition going on in my job, and a good number of people coming and going. I received confirmation today that my work BFF is also leaving and going to another property, and today's her last day. So it's a tough day at work for me. A lot of upheaval, transition, change, and normally I'm pretty good with organizational change, but just a lot of changes going on at one time. So tough day at work, but still plowing through a heavy workload. So I was glad to be able to just leave the campus and come out into the fresh air. Also, just scrolling through social media, and I've done a great job, and I recommend you do the same of clearing out. Remember, we're clearing out the negative. But just passed by a post from some random person who was just ranting about me and my situation. And left field, really, and very harsh, very hateful, very ugly. And again, for those of you who might not be 100% clued in as to what the big deal is, I've made some personal choices. I and my, again, I call it the love of my life, have made some very personal spiritual choices and to be together. And it comes at, it was not met with a lot of affirmation in the beginning. I think those who know, well, I know that those who know our personal situations and our personal journeys can appreciate the fact that we chose love and we chose happiness, and to leave some very negative, harmful situations in order to be together and to live our lives together. So we're getting a lot of public criticism for that and judgment. Particularly because we're in the ministry and I am a pastor here in Columbia, South Carolina. So the religious community, with the irony here, the LGBTQ religious community of all people, the community that I was sent, I believe, to alleviate from the shackles of judgment from mainstream religion, has now turned that judgment towards me because of my personal choices to pursue happiness, and it's alright. So I've got process of forgiveness that I have to go through as well, and I just refuse to continue to apologize for leaving a relationship that was extremely unhealthy for me, and for my spouse to leave a marriage that was extremely unhealthy for her, and that we found ourselves together. So I'm not apologizing for that. When I left the hotel for my lunch break, I chose to drive through Finley Park here in Columbia. This is where our ministry participates in United Way and City of Columbia's meal sharing program to feed the homeless every other Friday, one of the toughest days to cover in the week. We are here to feed the homeless for their dinner meal. And I drove through Finley Park just now, as a reminder. Sometimes you need a grounding, to just know, even though things can be rough, to just know how blessed you are, a reminder of how blessed you are. I remember when life dealt me a bad hand, and again, results of my own choices, and I found myself without a home. And I always thank God that I have a home now. And so I just drove through there to remind myself, you are blessed, regardless of what people say and how they're judging your life choices. You are blessed. And so I just left Finley Park, and now I'm over here sitting, as you see behind me, behind Columbia's Veterans Memorial, our Vietnam Memorial here. Columbia has a local one, and in fact, I remember speaking over there one time for the gay community. But I'm here because for me, this monument and all the the military monuments here represent people who gave their lives, one, for others, and two, for what they believed in. And I remember a time in my life when I wanted to die. A couple of times, actually. One time I even, attempted and to take my own life, and I was, pregnant with my son, 10 weeks pregnant with my son. So that's just how serious I was. I was willing to take his and my own because I just was not happy. I kept finding myself in situations and felt stuck. And the only way I felt to get out was to leave this life. So being here, it reminds me of people who were willing to give their life for what they believed in. And now I'm finally in a place in life, my family composition, my immediate family composition, my career pursuits, and having the love of my life, regardless of how it came about and regardless of what people think. This is a life that I'm willing to die for. And I don't think that the people who are, criticizing so much realize that I will fight and I will die for this life that I have now, the happiness that I have now. So I'm not gonna back down. One of the things that I began to feel was wanting to just leave, wanting to pack up my family and just leave, and just just find our peace. It's no longer peaceful here for us. And then just so happened, my old spiritual mentor and best friend from when I attended a different church up in Greenville, I saw one of her posts, and it was about fear. And it was about not being fearful, and especially not about being afraid of things that, God's already shown himself true in that situation, regardless of what's going on around you, not to be fearful. And so that just really ministered to me, and I told her I needed to hear that. And she followed up quickly with, "Love you, girl." And I told her, "I love you too. When can we come and visit?" And so just as quickly as the thought came, the comfort and the reassurance came right behind it. And so I'm digging my heels in. And so today I want to encourage all of the Phoenix. Don't let anybody throw those ashes back on you. Don't let anybody hold your wings down from flying. Don't let anybody, regardless of what you're coming out of, bad decisions you've made, things could have been a little bit different, whatever. But if you're like me and you've ever been in a time in your life where this life wasn't worth living to you, and now you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you have a portion or all of what God kept you on this earth to give you and for you to have and to enjoy, everybody else can go. Everybody else can go with that. And there's some other things, some choice things I can say. But I need for you to live your life unapologetically, fearlessly, and understand that whoever may have a problem with it right now may not even be in your life or in your space or in your circle next month, next year, 2 or 3 years from now. And look at where they are. Look at where you are. Look at where you've been, and look at where you're going. So I'm here again because, like I said, I remember when I didn't want to live, and I'm sitting here at a monument of people who, like I said, died for what they believed in. This country and freedom. Freedom for us to live how we want to live, the way we want to live. Don't let your life be in vain. And don't let anybody dictate your happiness, dictate how you should feel about the life that you have and the opportunities you have. So, Phoenix, let's rise. Let's rise. Let's rise.